Radio, ON, AM, and FM. This ON, AM, and FM weather forecast is sponsored by Inferno Audio for remote car starters and for copies of your car keys at prices far lower than the dealership. See Keith at Inferno Audio, 160 Clinton Street in Woonsocket. Visit infernoaudio.com. More clouds than sun today with a high of 75 and a light breeze from the south. Tonight, showers are possible, maybe a thunderstorm, 80% chance, winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour from the south, overnight low of 69. Sunday's weather, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms all day, up to a half an inch of rain is possible, a breeze from the southwest, and 87 degrees. Monday, rain tapering off, north wind, mostly sunny, 76. Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 83. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 84. Independence Day Thursday, partly sunny skies with a high of 89. And on Friday, partly sunny, 84.
And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have 70 degrees on a cloudy Saturday. And welcome to Kevin's Sports Show, Saturday, June 29th. So much going on this week. But first, let's bring in my co-host today, Pat Holland. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us here. Pat, diehard sports fan, season ticket holder to the New England Revolution, local umpire, and to this day, the only umpire I've ever got to overturn a call in my favor. Pat, welcome to Kevin's Sports Show.
Thanks, Kevin. Happy to be here. Looking forward to talking sports.
Yeah, it should be a great time. Pat is a regular at our Hockey Night in Attleboro studios. More on that in the weeks and months and years to come. So let's dive right into the local sports scene here. Pat, very locally, Woonsocket native Tariq Robinson O'Hagan did everything he possibly could last Saturday, land a berth as a shot put thrower on Team USA and a trip to next month's Summer Olympics in Paris. He took 8th place in the event at the United States Olympic Trials at the University of Oregon's Hayward Field. A 2022 graduate of Woonsocket High, two-time national collegiate champion and junior to be on the University of Mississippi's men's track and field team. He launched a personal best throw of 68 feet, 10 inches, in the fourth of his 6 attempts. It came up just a little bit short. They've taken the top two, and from my understanding, quick reading, the top two are the world record holders in the shot put. But congratulations to Tariq. I don't know if you follow the Olympic trials at all.
I have watched a little bit of it, and it is. I mean, that's all you can ask for, right? You throw your best. You throw your best, and you see where you fall, and
right.
Good luck to him as he moves forward in his collegiate career, and then hopefully towards LA.
Right, exactly. So it's and also locally, Adelaide Cairns in the Junior Olympics for the hammer throw this week up at Fitchburg State. We're still working on getting her on the show. Obviously, couldn't have her on the show this week, being at Fitchburg State in the Junior Olympics. She's the one that is 4 feet away from the all-time scholastic record in the hammer throw. Still a rising senior at Woonsocket High School. So we wish Adelaide Cairns the best of luck this week up in Fitchburg. More locally, but a little bit more globally, Cumberland's own Tyler Kolek, drafted Thursday by the Portland Trailblazers. He will not be heading out west immediately after being drafted by the Portland Trailblazers in the second round. Traded to the New York Knicks for a couple of draft picks. So Tyler Kolek, I guess, Pat, the only surprising thing there is he didn't go in the first round. He went in the second round. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, great collegiate career. The NBA draft's a little bit of a gamble anyway. You don't know where anyone's going to fall these days, and then there were a lot of players that did fall out of the first round. So, but just to be drafted,
right?
That has to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then to stay somewhat locally.
And he's no stranger to the to Madison Square Garden with the Big East tournament. 4-year starter. In college, and great opportunity for him. But to your point, you have all these 18 and 19-year-olds that are being drafted either one and done out of college, maybe out of high school or prep school. You get your European players that are coming over as well being drafted. It is, I advise anyone be very wary of coming out early. there's only 30 spots in the first round, 60 spots altogether. It's not easy to get drafted into the NBA.
No. In general, yeah, I think there's a lot more European players that are being drafted now, and you get the G League team that is, for kids who didn't go to college,
Right.
are coming in now. So I think there were 2 or 3 drafted in the first round out of the G League. So, but even still, you will start to see these older 3, 4, even somewhat 5-year college players starting to get drafted because of the experience.
Absolutely. No. If you have any thoughts on the NBA draft or any other topic as we discussed, feel free to please call in 401-766-1240. Phone lines are open here at WOON, OneSocketRadio.com. In regards to the NBA draft, Providence College's own Devin Carter, selected number 13 in the first round by the Sacramento Kings, breaking a bit of a drought for Providence College, the first PC player to go in the first round since Chris Dunn about 8 years ago, back in 2016. So Devin Carter making a splash. To be fair, when PC started this season last year, I did not have Devin Carter going in the first round. Was surprised when there was whisperings that he might come out, and by the end of the PC season, I was convinced he was going to go in the first round, and proven right. I don't know how much you follow PC basketball, Pat.
Yeah, I think he had a great season, and I think really his stock rose during the combine for the NBA. Really, I mean, that's when you started hearing his name kind of more and more in the conversation. So, yeah.
So it's wishing Devin Carter on. I wish he was on the East Coast. I'm not a big. I'm not up on my Sacramento Kings. He now represents the only player I know on the Sacramento Kings is Devin Carter. In regards to the Celtics draft, interesting theory. First of all, you got Kristaps Porzingis, who had surgery almost immediately after the Duck Boat parade. He's out until December. So they're going to have to replace his 20 points per game, his 7 rebounds, 8 rebounds per game on the season, key cog. But the Celtics drafting Baylor, how to pronounce the name right, Shireman, and then they picked up Anton Watson. Shireman, a 4-year player, and Watson, a 5-year player. Pat, I think they're going for some maturity in the draft, picking up a 23 and a 24-year-old.
Yeah, in Shireman's unique, right? He's a big kid. I mean, only D1 player in history, right? With 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists, 300 3-pointers. So, again, the maturity level, and I think they're looking to have to replace some of these rotation guys at the lower end of the bench for cheap money because they're gonna have to. I mean, they get to sign White,
right?
So I think there's a lot more involved here. But to grab 2 guys with 4 and 5 years of college experience, I think will suit them well.
I think it's huge. And again, if you have any comments on the Celtics draft, 401-766-1240. And hold on. Select it. Oh, and we do have our first caller. So. And hello, welcome to Kevin's Sports Show. Thank you for calling. Who am I talking to?
Morning, Kevin. It's Marty. How are you?
Hey, Marty. How about yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. A proud moment for Tyler Kolek, for Cumberland, for Rhode Island, for for Tyler's family as well. As you know, his dad, Kevin, a phenomenal influence on both Tyler and his older brother, Brandon, who both went through Cumberland High School, and he was groomed to be a basketball player at a young age, and his hard work is paid off. And I know you guys touched on he didn't get picked in the first round, but you also alluded to the fact that there's only 60 picks, and to get one of those 60, that's a pretty good accomplishment.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible, and I really hope there is no disappointment on the Kolek family for not going in the first round because he went very high in the second round.
Yeah, it's funny. We had gotten a few phone calls about him. Some pro teams had called and wanted to speak with his head coach, Coach Reedy, who just stepped down from varsity boys basketball. And they just asked a lot of character questions. Is all that it was. But I think with Tyler, what you see is what you get. He's a hardworking kid. He sticks his nose in it. Like when he comes home, when he came home, either Thanksgiving or Christmas for whatever, he was always reaching out. Hey, can I get in the gym? Can we get in the gym? You know, and they would come in and shoot and get work done. So the kid's a gym rat, and hopefully it bodes well for him moving forward.
Oh, that's great. And I always love the character questions anyway. You know, to hear that he's a great guy, you know, fit right in. You listed in Marty Crowley, the athletic director of Cumberland, is on the line with us right now. Marty has joined us in studio. Marty, you have a little bit off topic. You have a new baseball coach at Cumberland. Is that correct?
We don't have one yet, but we are going to be looking. Yeah, Coach Cardoso stepped down at the end of the season.
Yep.
You know, he's the two young kids, and therefore, you know, time spent with his family. But yeah, that search will take place in September, August to September. The job will be posted. We did hire a new boys basketball coach from Tyler Calabro.
Oh, okay.
Great kid. He was the JV coach the last 4 years. Is a Cumberland kid as well. We also just hired a new hockey coach in Greg Wellington.
Oh, wow.
Coach Wellington, another Cumberland alumni. Is in the hockey world, and we're looking forward to what these two young men have to offer to our education-based athletic programs.
So what you're saying, Marty, is even though all the other teachers are on summer vacation, you're not exactly on vacation right now, are you?
Yeah, I got a few days off here and there, but you know, it's good though. You know, you get ahead scheduling and facilities and all stuff, and yeah, it's a great time of the year. But you really can't wait till like August and September till the kids get back in the building and you see the fruits of your labor start to pay off. You know.
Absolutely. And Marty, one last question in regards to Tyler Kolek, if you wouldn't mind just jumping into their family's head for 1 second. Do you think they're happy that they got traded back to the Knicks and on the West Coast instead of Portland, where he got drafted by, or do you think it just didn't matter to him?
You know what? I mean, logistically, obviously, New York's a drive away, right?
Yes.
Where you're not flying out to Portland back and forth. So I'm sure financially for the Koleks, transportation might be a little bit easier. But I think that's drafted by anybody. It was Toronto, Sacramento. Like, I can't name anybody on their roster either, for the record. You know, I mean, I just think the fact that he did get drafted. And one more point before I go. Congratulations to you and your daughter on her recent accolade, pitching for Attleboro High School.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. She had a great year, and that's voted on by the coaches too in the league, as you know, and to have that respect. I mean, we were just blown away by that, especially being a sophomore. So no, thank you very much, Marty. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and in the Hawk, right? And in the Hawk, of course, right? Which is, as you know, and I'm not downplaying anything that we do in Rhode Island, but the Hockomock is having the opportunity to coach there. Is one of the best leagues competitively in every sport, especially in softball.
Yes.
You got KP, you got Taunton, and a lot of other strong programs. So that's a good testament to Jenna and to you and your family as well.
Thank you. And you know, many people may know, seeing that we're on the Mass line, King Philip did play Taunton in the softball state finals. Two public schools facing off against each other. Taunton did win. But I am in Massachusetts anyway, a self-professed Hawk snob, Marty, because in so many sports, the Hockomock League is just head and shoulders above some of the other leagues in Massachusetts. So, no, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate the call in, Marty. Thank you.
Thanks for taking my call, guys. Have a great show.
You too. Appreciate it. Bye. That was Cumberland Athletic Director Marty Crowley. That I've done some Rhode Island football games with Marty. He's been in studio with us and has agreed to be in studio again with us. Have you ever met Marty?
I haven't, but you know, Cumberland has a great program. Obviously my daughter plays soccer in Rhode Island, so we're well aware of Cumberland's girls soccer program. So.
They had the Gatorade Player of the Year in soccer and undefeated state championship season. So we thank Marty Crowley for the call. We're going to take our first break here on WOON 99.5 FM 1240 AM and WoonSocketRadio.com. When we come back with a lot more to talk about, the Bruins made a trade this week. The Red Sox, are they surprising you? They're surprising me, and a whole host more. Again, you'll listen to Kevin's Sports Show or watching Kevin's Sports Show here on WoonSocketRadio.com.
First news, best music. This is ON Radio.
The latest Buick and GMC models, as well as used cars, trucks, and SUVs, can be found at Tasca Buick GMC in Woonsocket. The Buick Encore GX is a sporty SUV that strikes a distinctively athletic tone. The Envision has a suite of 6 advanced safety and driver assistance technologies that come standard. The GMC Sierra 1500, Acadia, and Terrain trucks are on the lot now at Tasca Buick GMC. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com to see their entire inventory of new and used cars. Tasca Buick GMC, Fortin Drive, Woonsocket is open 7 days a week.
When you're ill and need same-day care, remember North Smithfield Urgent Care and Lincoln Urgent Care for affordable and accessible care. You'll always be seen by a board-certified physician who will assess the problem and make you feel safe and reassured. Both centers can help you with a wide range of symptoms and ailments, including flu, fractures, allergies, infections, work injuries, and more. Check their websites for convenient patient and medical forms, which you may fill out before the visit. North Smithfield Urgent Care, 594 Great Road, North Smithfield, 768-3400. And Lincoln Urgent Care, 2 Wake Robin Road, Lincoln, 333-9595.
Appreciate your customers, then give them the best job possible. That's been their motto at Michaud's Auto Body since 1948. They have continually invested in the newest and best frame unibody equipment available, as well as color matching techniques. Michaud's Auto Body is a certified Class A facility where all collision repairs are 100% guaranteed. Michaud's Auto Body at 430 Privilege Street, Woonsocket, 769-1983.
Youth leagues and high schools, it's trophy and award season. And when you need to crown your champions and award your MVP, B&M Printing Trophies and Signs is where you should turn. B&M Printing Trophies and Signs, in business since 1982. Owner Carmel Therian offers much more than trophies. They're experts in banners, yard signs, flags, and they'll handle all your printing needs as well. Open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5:30. B&M has pickup and delivery service available. To see everything that B&M Printing Trophies and Signs has to offer, go to bmprintingweb.com or stop by 1300 Menden Road in Cumberland across from the historic St. Joseph's Church. ON, AM, and FM.
And welcome back to Kevin's Sports Show. I'm joined by Pat Holland. The phone lines are open, 401-766-1240. Thank you to Marty giving us a great insight on Tyler Kolek, the Cumberland native, drafted technically by the Portland Trailblazers, but that'll just be a little side note on a trivia question, as he immediately got traded to the New York Knicks. Happiness for the Kolek family as they now can, they can Amtrak, they can drive, they can do whatever they want now to get up and back and forth to Madison Square Garden. Back to the Celtics for a second. We touched on it briefly, Pat. Kristaps Porzingis, I'm comparing him to Kurt Schilling, playing the last game of the season and the win over Dallas to bring the Celtics their 18th banner. Schilling had the bloody red sock. You got Porzingis, 3 days after the parade, is he's out until December because he ankle tendon surgery. You make that correlation to the 04 Sox and Schilling, or am I going way too far?
Yeah, I mean, certainly a little bit. I mean, I'm just surprised that he was even able to play. I mean, given the nature of the injury, a very rare, obscure sports injury, and the fact that he was able to get out there and give any minutes was just impressive. So,
yeah, on a bad tendon to give 16 minutes, but it is incredible. And if I remember back correctly, when Schilling had the bloody sock, he went, I think, 6 at least, if not 7 innings on the day on that one. So
I think you're right on that.
Yeah. Speaking of the Red Sox, really wish they had won last night. It would have made this next point a little bit better on my end. But the Boston Red Sox, they're exactly halfway through the season. They are 43-38. 5 games over 500, just 8.5 games out of first place at the halfway point, just 1 game out of the wild card. I brought it up last week. that I am pleasantly surprised. Pat, I wanted to get your thoughts. Are you surprised? Is this where you thought they would be? The job of Alex Cora, the young people that nobody knows their names. What are your thoughts halfway through the Red Sox season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if you were to ask me at the beginning of the season where they'd be now, I certainly wouldn't think they'd be at 43 and 38 and
Right.
a game out, But this is similar to what happened last year, although last year they had a little bit more talent
Right.
that they've since moved on from. So this is a little bit more impressive. I do think that they're overachieving.
Yes.
And so, I think we've talked about this enough over the years where I am a baseball fan, but I don't typically start to watch until after the All-Star break.
Right.
Where I'm more involved, at least invested in it. So I'd like to see what happens after the All-Star break. But I didn't think they'd win. I think I had them on pace to be like you.
Yeah.
I think 75 to 80 games would be.
I was hoping for
promising.
75. Me personally, 75, 77. I never want a Boston Red Sox team to be hoping for 500, and this is where I'm mad at upper management.
Yeah, they should never get to that point.
Should never
right?
get to
Should
that
never-
point.
in this market.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm talking over you.
No, just in this market. I mean, we can you can touch on this all day. I mean, they're a big market team. They should be spending big market dollars, which they are to a certain extent, but they've certainly kind of pulled back from that over the last couple of years. But it'll be interesting to see what they do as we move into the All-Star break. The trade deadline. Are they going to go out? Are they going to buy? Are they going to sell?
Right.
Are they
I mean, I personally hope they're buyers. If you have thoughts on the Boston Red Sox, feel free to give us a call, 766-1240. Baseball mad area around here. Still, they're still drawing well. They're not selling out like they used to. But I think the Red Sox are just I do have to do a mea culpa. Last week I was going off of my Bobby Dahlbeck rant, and I got a text that I didn't read till after the show was over, as I was begging the Red Sox to trade for a first baseman, any first baseman, to do, it has to be better performing than Bobby Dahlbeck. And I get a text, and I completely forgot about Tristan Casas. The text was, Casas will be back in 2 weeks. So now Casas is about a week away, where he's one strange individual, Tristan Casas. Did you see where he backtracked on his swings? He said he started swinging a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then he said, "No, I was mentally swinging."
right? He's an odd guy, to say the least. But they do have several guys. I mean, Ken Duran, keep up what he's doing. Ken Wong, keep up what he's doing. I've been pretty impressed with Rafaela, who started out real slow, and now he's playing great baseball since they moved him back into the infield.
And whereas defense has been an issue for the Red Sox, Rafael has played some good defense. And he's in center field though, right?
Center field, yeah. Sorry.
He's been making some great plays in center. And the Red Sox, never known for stealing bases. Duran has 20. David Hamilton has 21. And Rafael has 10, though he's been caught 6 times. But to your point, he was hitting 245 right now with a 274 on base percentage. About a month ago, he was hitting about 190. And
Right.
And Jaron Duran, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think in June he's batting 333 through the month of June. So
Right.
that's, if he can keep that up, which was the what he was known for, right?
Right.
His hitting. So hopefully that carries through.
One of my sons says he looks like Mookie Betts in the batter's box.
Yeah.
They got a very similar stance, and Rafael again playing some great defense. And it seems like, I didn't see last night's game. I do know they gave up 9 runs in one inning, ultimately losing 9-2. But it's when the Red Sox lose, they seem to have like youth baseball, the bad inning. 3 errors in an inning, 3 errors in an inning. It snowballs and gets away from them. And they had that one bad inning, which ends up being a loss. I'm not sure how bad the bad inning was last night, but they did give up 9 runs in it. I don't know if it was errors or if they just got hit. But now they come back today against the Padres, also in the wild card. I believe if the season ended, they are in the wild card right now. They got Tanner Houck going today, and Tanner Houck has a 2.18 ERA. we touched on this a couple weeks ago. If he can continue this in the second half of the season, I think he's a legit candidate for Cy Young at a 2.18. Last I checked, he was like 5th or 6th in the league in ERA.
Yeah, he's certainly in the conversation right now for sure. And I think he always runs into, there's always seems to be one starter for the Red Sox that just never gets the run support whenever they're pitching, and it's usually their top pitcher.
Yes.
But, if he can keep it up, I think, and it's funny because they haven't extended him yet.
Right.
Where they gave money to Bell.
Yep.
Houck still, they haven't extended him yet, and he's really kind of seems to be performing at a much higher level.
I mean, he's having his best year, most consistent. He was leading the league in innings pitched. At last check. Also having a good year, up to 17 home runs on the year now is Rafael Devers taking the team lead over Tyler O'Neill, and kind of quietly 287 average. He was down in the 240s. On base 370, 17 home runs, 43 RBIs. All of a sudden, his numbers are looking, I won't say MVP worthy, but on pace for double everything now. 34 home runs, 86 RBIs. If he can get his RBI up near 100, he's got to be in the consideration for even MVP, assuming they stay in the wild card hunt. Playing a decent third base, never a Gold Glove winner, but he's not
right.
He's not hurting you out there, Pat.
Right. You take what he's going to give you, right?
Exactly.
And I think he's gotten better defensively since he came into the league. But here's another guy, right? Yoshida.
Yeah,
he's been out all year.
Right.
So if they can get some of these guys back and healthy, it'll be interesting to see. Again, it'll be interesting to see what happens as they get past the All-Star break towards the trade deadline. Are they going to put the money out there? And I think that's ultimately what fans are looking for, right?
Yeah, the fans
Certainly.
want it. I hope Breslow, the GM, wants it. I would think Alex Cora wants it. And what are your thoughts on Alex Cora? I think he's doing a good job managing this team of nobodies.
Yeah, and I think he's. My personal opinion is I don't think he's back. I think he wants out.
Yeah.
But I think
so you think if he leaves, it'll be because of him wanting out more than getting fired?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to come back. Just about how the last couple of seasons have gone. They're just not.
Right.
They're not investing in the team as they were. Which again, you're in Kansas City, you expect that, right? You're in Boston, you don't. So, but he's definitely getting the most out of the guys that he has.
So for a lame duck manager who maybe wants out, he's got him, on pace to finish 10 games over 500 on the year. He's got him in play for the wild card. He's managing not like a lame duck manager, or the guys are really playing hard for him right now. It's actually pretty amazing when you think about again we talked outside of Kenley Jansen, name a reliever. it's Chris Martin, I guess, comes to mind, but
sure. Yeah, I mean the pitching side of things is a huge question mark for me.
Right.
I mean, I think as long as these guys are producing at the plate, and currently I think they are overachieving. They'll probably a few of them will drop back down to earth, but if they can get the pitching. And maybe they add a couple arms at the deadline. Maybe they go out and they make a trade. I mean, they don't have to give away all their top talent, but I mean, they made a trade. They brought Abreu in last year,
right?
Who I think if Houston thought he was going to develop into the player he is, probably wouldn't have traded him.
Right.
Right. So you find this kind of guy who's sitting on another roster somewhere that isn't being valued, and you bring him in, and he's actually played well for them. So maybe they're looking to do that.
And just looking at at the Red Sox pitching right now, Tanner Houck 7-5, Cutter Crawford 3-7 with a 3.59 ERA. Pivetta just back from his injury. Brian Bello got roughed up the other night. The ceiling is high for him, though his ERA is high right now. Cooper Criswell. And then you go down the line: Justin Slayton, Greg Weiser, Cam Boozer. These are all people that have played in 20 or more games for the Red Sox. Kenley Jansen, obviously we talked about him. Zach Kelly, Brennan Bernardino, Josh Winchowski. I mean, these are just it's a no-name bullpen that's getting the job done for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible season that they're going on. Look at that. We're up against a break right now. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we want to hear your thoughts on Boston Red Sox or anything else. We're going to touch on the Boston Bruins as well. They made a big trade this week. They made a big draft pick, literally a big draft pick last night. We'll touch on that when we come back on Kevin's Sports Show on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and OneSocketRadio.com. We'll be back right after this message.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ON is always on.
When you visit State Line Services website, you'll see a wealth of information about them and the 20 kinds of specialties they offer, including cooling system maintenance, emission testing, exhaust systems, and computerized engine analysis. Because today's vehicles are a complicated piece of equipment with a network of sensors that monitor your vehicle's performance. In other words, you need an expert. State Line Service and Tire Center, 1209 Social Street, Woonsocket, at the State Line, 765-0146. New customers are welcome.
Tabitha Rose Photography is the photographer for an amazing experience. Hey, if it's time for your youth leagues, high school, or college team pictures, go to the website trosephoto.com, where you can book a private, semi-private, or whole team media day experience at Tabitha Rose Photography. In addition to the media experience for your player, Tabitha also specializes in lifestyle, studio, seniors, engagements, and boudoir sessions. trosephoto.com is the web destination for you, and please be sure to click on the Media Experience tab and be wowed by Tabitha Rose Photography.
Welcome to summer, and John Moran of AJ Moran Incorporated says now is the time to get those projects done that you've been putting off. Masonry, patios, walkways, hardscape, and landscape. AJ Moran will work with you to create the design that you want. Your web destination to contact AJ Moran Incorporated is ajmoraninc.com or search AJ Moran Incorporated on Facebook. AJ Moran Incorporated has been servicing Massachusetts and Rhode Island for more than 30 years. Contact John Moran at 781-267-6827. 781-267-6827. AJ Moran Incorporated.
This ON, AM, and FM weather forecast sponsored by Valley Transportation, now offering transportation using school buses for school field trips, senior bingo trips, weddings, or any other adult trips. Leave the driving to the professionals and the courteous drivers of Valley Transportation, 664 Front Street, Woonsocket. Telephone number 762-5055. More clouds than sun today with a high of 75 and a light breeze from the south. Tonight, showers if possible, maybe a thunderstorm, 80% chance, winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour from the south, overnight low of 69. Sunday's weather, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms all day, up to a half an inch of rain is possible, a breeze from the southwest, and 87 degrees. Monday, rain tapering off, north wind, mostly sunny, 76. Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 83. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 84. Independence Day Thursday, partly sunny skies with a high of 89. And on Friday, partly sunny, 84.
And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, we have 71 degrees here on a nice cloudy day. A little bit of a breeze and some rain in the forecast. Welcome back to Kevin's Sports Show. I'm joined here by Pat Holland. Pat, thanks again for joining us. We have a phone call. Are you ready? Here we go. Hello, who am I talking to?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Pat. This is the Moose Man I've called before.
Yes, hi Moose. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and yourself?
Very good this morning.
I'd like to continue a little bit with more comments on the Red Sox, as you guys have just pointed out a bit, and a few players that you brought up.
Sure.
And I'll like to, so to speak, rebut on Rafael Devers.
Sure.
And Mr. Alex Cora. Rafi is course, the heart and soul of this team with his bat and his production. And he's just a scary ball player.
Right.
It's good. It's a good thing we have him. It's a good thing that we retained him.
Yes.
But I don't think he'll ever be a good third baseman. He doesn't still know how to play the position. And I'm going to tell you why. There's very good infielders, grade A infielders, when they field the ball, they set themselves before they throw. They square up and then they fire. That's how they set up a ball. They square up and they fire to their target. Raffy is always shuffling his feet around when he throws. He takes a couple of steps to the right. He hops to the left. He's bouncing. He never sets himself and then fires to first base to his target. And I don't think he'll always have that style, Kevin.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting point, Moose, and I do think in the future, maybe even the near future, I could see, depending what they do with Casas in the future, I could see a transfer over to first base for Devers. I'm not 100% sure who's in the pipeline for third base. Like mentioned earlier, I do think Devers is a satisfactory third baseman. A scale of 1 to 5, I put him as a 3. He's not going to win a Gold Glove, but I don't think he's going to lose you the World Series either.
You're being very generous with a 3. I don't remember the old Stratomatic baseball. I'm sure Mr. Crowley did, who was your co-host a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
We always rate the infielders or players from 1 to 4.
Yes.
He would be 4.
Yes.
He just bumbles around to the base.
I dabble a little bit, Moose, in Stratomatic. I'm more of an APBA guy, but that could be another topic for another day.
Yeah. Now to Mr. Cora. I want to start painting roses around this guy. His reputation precedes himself since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we finished in the cellar in the last 2 out of 3 years. How they retained this guy, Kevin, this year was beyond me. I thought he was not going to be brought back. Now, what the team has done so far these days is certainly encouraging with a bunch of no-names that they have there. But I don't think it has anything to do with Cora. I think it has something to do with the players. It's the players themselves. They have the ones that have to perform. They're the ones that play. They develop the speed. They got Duran and Hamilton. This team has a weapon now, and that's speed.
Yeah, Moose, that's going to be the first time you've seen that. It's the first time in my life I've seen speed. I don't know how old you are, but I'm assuming around my age. I don't ever beyond a Jerry Remy. Maybe a Tommy Harper, a little bit older than me, but it's I don't remember the Go-Go Red Sox being part of the equation.
Oh, if you want to go back, the last time you would say coin the Go-Go Red Sox was all the way back to the year 1935.
I don't go back that far.
The last year that they led the American League in stolen bases.
Wow.
As a team. 1935. They're second in the league right now in SBs, but that's certainly a beautiful thing to have a weapon like that because it upsets the pitchers.
It does.
Pitchers get out of their rhythm. You got a runner behind you, and you got to looking over your shoulder. All of a sudden, you lose concentrator on the batter, and you make mistakes. That's the beautiful thing of having speed and getting somebody on base.
Right.
But Cora, as far as Cora is concerned, I still don't like the way he manages the game on the field, in game situations, taking out pitches when he shouldn't. Batting for this guy. He's got this little thing, if you noticed in the last 2 years, he'll ask a player who's red hot. He did it to Duran this year. He did it to Devers last year. You want tomorrow off? Do you want the day off? I've never heard that before. Kevin, if you're at the plate 6, 7 games in a row, your heart is a firecracker. You want out there the next day.
Absolutely. No, that I agree with for sure, Moose.
You're chomping at the bit. I can't wait to get out there for tomorrow. Manager comes over and says, hey, want the day off tomorrow? What?
No.
What? No.
No, not when you're swinging a bat like Duran. If you're Tyler O'Neill and you're still nursing an injury, maybe you came back a little bit sooner than you thought, and you're struggling at around 250 or so. All right, maybe a day off of him just to give him another day, take a couple swings in the cages. But you're someone like Duran whose average is on the way up.
Yeah.
to 287. No, I want that bat in the lineup. You know, even
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. That's kind of puzzling that he would ask such a thing.
Right.
And I don't like the in-game management of him. So look, they're 5 games over 500. That's great. They've lost the last couple of games. They're giving up 18 runs. That starting staff is starting to sour a little bit. Bello's getting wrapped around.
Yeah, Bello. I am starting to get a little nervous on Bello. That was that was my ace coming into the season. Houck was my personal second. Pivetta was third. You know, it's now it's going to be interesting to see if Houck can keep going in the second half. My understanding is he's coming up on the most innings he's ever pitched at a professional level. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in the second half of this season.
We're going to need him.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to need him. Crawford's starting to get cuffed around too.
Yeah.
But the bullpen, I think, is fine, except for maybe, you know, their late inning closes are good with Martin, of course, Jensen. But we'll see what happens with the remainder of the season. They're right at the halfway point right now. But
Moose, while I got you here, then
Yes,
one
sir.
last question: what do you do with Kenley Jansen? At the beginning of the year, when they were predicted to win about 75 games, he was one of the ones that you were going to sell at the trade deadline to stock up for next year. Now that with them only being a half game to a game out of the wild card and in playoffs, legitimately in the playoff hunt, what do you do with Jansen? Do you keep him, or do you get rid of him?
let's see what entails now. The trade deadline is at the end of next month. Isn't that correct?
Yes, the end of July.
End of July.
End of July. Yeah, so you got the whole month of July still
We're
to go.
talking a whole bunch of games here before that comes up to
Right.
buy or sell.
Yeah.
So what do you do with him is right. Let's see how the team performs for the next 20 to 25 days.
All right, and at that point they'll be at 100 games, and it might not be clearer in the wild card picture, but they should still be within a few games unless there's a complete drop off. But where they sold me, Moose, was that taking 2 out of 3 from the Yankees and 2 out of 3 from the Phillies about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and they've won 4 series in a row, I believe it is.
Yes,
And so it's they're surprising me, and they're fun to watch. Because of the way they run the bases, I don't ever remember, and maybe we have to go back to 1935, but 2 Red Sox players on the same team with 20 or more stolen bases.
Oh yeah, that's a very, very nice thing to have.
Yeah.
Let's remember this too. I mean, they also have I think it's 17 wins that they've come from behind.
Yeah, 17 come from behind wins.
That could go one way or the other, right?
Great indication, though, that the guy Hot and Soul team doesn't give up.
True.
They got some pepper pots on this team. They with Breu, whoever thought this kid would do that well, they say he's really good. Not only that, he's good defensively as well.
Yeah, their outfield defense is really stepped up
Very
this
good.
year. It's their infield defense that's been letting them down.
Well, let's see what happens. I wish I had a little more, just a little more power.
Yep.
Losing Story at the beginning of the year, boy, what a bust this guy has been.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple other players. Let's see what happens. That's all you can say. They're 5 games over 500. They're supposed to be like 15 games under 500
Right.
by now and mired in the cellar.
Yes.
Which they're not. So they've turned it around, and let's keep our fingers crossed. But Alex Cora, please, not yet. Not yet. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Next week, I'd like to talk about the NBA if I could.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the call,
right,
Moose.
thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Okay, bye. And that was the Moose man joining us with his thoughts. I do know that he's not a big fan of Alex Cora, but that goes with the job too. I mean, it's like it's pros and cons. Cora, he alluded to the 2018 with the cheating scandal.
And then that's never going to go away. I mean, listen, these guys are professional athletes. Would you rather have Alex Cora or would you rather have Boone? I mean, is Boone really a manager for the Yankees, or are they just? I mean, they have elite talent, right?
Right.
They spend $200 billion a year, right? No.
Right. No, it's interesting. It's you're at the major league level. I think to Moose's point, he probably wants to see some the old more bunting. I'm old school. I like to keep a starting pitcher in longer beyond the pitch count, and I know the numbers don't match up. Like, oh, you got to take them out the third time through, and but now I sound like the old man. Back in my day, you paid money to go see Roger Clemens against Dave Stewart. In the 80s, that's a marquee pitching matchup, and you knew you were going to get a combined 16 innings out of them, if not the full 18.
And that's the only criticism I would have of Hoke is, does he get into the seventh inning?
Right, and yet he leads the majors in innings pitched.
Right. So it's a new baseball game. Right?
It's a new baseball game. In my opinion, it's a shame because what pitchers, and I've asked this of my kids who are in their 20s. What pitcher are you paying to see? We paid to go see Roger Clemens. Heck, I paid to go see Tim Wakefield when he was on that roll in his first year with the Red Sox back in '95 when he won like 14 in a row, and he was just unhittable and going complete game. Pedro Martinez, my gosh, another pitcher you paid to see. So it's a different game, and I don't know how baseball gets back to showcasing their starting pitchers. Garrett Cole. He's a showcase guy, and he's 6 innings.
There'll be one guy here and there. It'll never go back to it. It's too much analytics involved now.
And I always compared it to
take it or leave it.
Do you take Tom Brady out after the halfway through the third quarter because he's thrown enough balls? And now you're gonna go to Jacoby Brissett to finish things up. Like I want Tom Brady in there the whole game. So. All right, we're up against a break. You're listening to the Kevin Sports Show. Thanks to Moose for the phone call. We'll come back for our final segment. We'll touch on the Boston Bruins, finish up any Red Sox thoughts here on Kevin Sports Show, 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, OneSocketRadio.com. We'll be back right after this message.
Join the Coffee and Panel weekday mornings at 8 on ON Radio.
The latest Buick and GMC models, as well as used cars, trucks, and SUVs, can be found at Tasca Buick GMC in Woonsocket. The Buick Encore GX is a sporty SUV that strikes a distinctively athletic tone. The Envision has a suite of 6 advanced safety and driver assistance technologies that come standard. The GMC Sierra 1500, Acadia, and Terrain trucks are on the lot now at Tasca Buick GMC. Visit TascaBuickGMC.com to see their entire inventory of new and used cars. Tasca Buick GMC, Fortin Drive, Woonsocket is open 7 days a week. Featuring traditional dishes from Mexico to your table is Bandito's Mexican Restaurant, 2120 Diamond Hill Road in Woonsocket. Bandito's Mexican Restaurant is your go-to place for tacos, burritos, tequila, margaritas, and more. So today, when you're wondering where to get the best Mexican food in Woonsocket, remember Bandito's Mexican Restaurant. Banditos, with locations on Broad Street in Cumberland, Park Street in Attleboro, and soon in Pawtucket, is open daily at 12 in Woonsocket.
When you install a garage door, don't forget the safety factor. Woonsocket Door Sales suggests you visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com and read about all the new technology available to make your garage and your home safe. In addition to your vehicles, your garage may store valuable tools and equipment. It may also have access to your home. Their website also features a variety of designs and comments about satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales in Cumberland, 767-3448. They install, repair, and service all types of garage doors for commercial and residential.
If you're celebrating a major event, regardless of the reason, Michael's Meats of Cumberland can elevate your next meal from ordinary to extraordinary with meats so good your guests will ask you where you got them. Tell them Michael's Meats. Michael's Meats is in the Walgreens parking lot on Mendon Road in Cumberland, just north of the Ciabro Plaza. They're open Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., making your next meal truly special. Here's this week's specials at Michael's Meats.
And Michael's Meats has Willow Tree's chicken salad for $6.77 a pound this week at Michael's Meats of Cumberland. Thank you, Michael's. Welcome back to Kevin's Sports Show here on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and OneSocketRadio.com. I am joined by Pat Holland, my co-host. Hopefully, Pat will be joining us in the near future, next week, maybe a few weeks after that, and hopefully we can make this a go for a while. Hope you're having some fun here, Pat, tonight. Having a good time so far?
Yeah, it's been great.
Oh, good. That's a good thing to hear. What else are you going to say on the air, right? So it's okay. So one thing we thank you to Marty and Moose so far for calling in. Marty Moose. That's a character. Thank you to Marty Crowley and the Moose Man for calling in this week's show. If you have any more thoughts on the Red Sox or the Celtics or anything else that we previously discussed, feel free to call in at 766-1240, 401-766-1240. Pat, topic we have not touched on yet, and I'd like to get to before we run out of time, the Boston Bruins. Obviously, we're in a big hockey area in Woonsocket. I'm a huge Bruins fan. You are as well. Made a splash trading former Vezina winner Linus Ullmark to Ottawa for, I call him, I don't know, hopefully he's not listening, future journeyman goalie Joonas Korpisalo, forward Mark Kostelic. But I think the most important part of the trade played out last night. They picked up a first-round draft pick at number 25, where previously they didn't have a first, a second, or a third-round pick this year due to other trades that they tried to make not only this past year, but last year when they went for it with Krejci and Bergeron, got eliminated in the first round. They've lost draft picks. So I think off of this trade, Korpisalo, I think he gets shipped out maybe today on the day 2 of the draft. I think before camp, the Bruins signed Brandon Bucci. Yeah, Brandon Boosie, and who for $750,000 on a 2-way contract. Right now, the Bruins aren't saving that much money in cap space, and I think because of this trade, they're expecting Jeremy Swayman for about 60 games, 55 to 60.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little odd. I think ultimately we knew something had to move, right? Ullmark was going to go. Where was he going to go to? He had a little bit of leverage because he had a 16-team no trade.
Yeah. And Ottawa's part of the teams he wanted to get traded to. Sorry. Yeah, no offense to Ottawa.
Korpisalo, I don't know if they see him as a work in progress still. He's been in the league for quite some time.
He's 30 years old.
Goalie at best.
Yeah.
Career 90 save percentage.
Right. 89 last year.
So, let's see what happens. I don't know if it's can goalie Bob save him? Maybe. I mean, he was with LA was his rookie year. He went to Columbus for several years. Really kind of amped up towards the tail end there. But ultimately, I don't know what happens. I don't see him staying because of the salary difference. But
I mean,
who knows?
When Ullmark came in, he came in from Buffalo, and he wasn't that highly regarded coming from a bad team. The Bruins thinking the same thing. Ottawa's not that good of a team.
I mean, it could be that, but he hasn't put up impressive numbers, really. I mean, outside of maybe 1 year in Columbus, I think.
Yeah, he had a 92%.
92 save percentage and a 2.18 goals against average, which was in, I want to say 49 starts. But it'd be interesting to see what happens and how this play out. But the key is, I think that to get that first round pick again, they drafted this kid. Who's 6'7".
Dean Letourneau is his name.
Yeah, 6'7" out of a prep high school program up in Canada. So there's some questions about the quality of play up there. He did put up 61 goals, 66 assists in 66 games. So that's quite impressive. But it's not like they drafted him out of the Canadian Hockey League or anything like
or
that.
The OHL or even the Q, the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. I was looking at the draft picks. It seems like the OHL, the Ontario Hockey League, is all the kids are being drafted out of there.
It's really,
if not college,
the best of the best.
Yeah.
Obviously American college is kind of come way up, a U.S. junior development program, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. He is going to Boston College next season. It'll be close, local. It'll be good to see how he plays against some of the top college, prospects.
They're obviously, the center, with Bergeron and Krejci now gone, what will be now for 2 years. Obviously, they're not coming back when next season starts. He is center has been an area of need. You got, Poitras that could slide over. He started off hot, and then got an injury after playing in the U20 for Canada. It's see how he rebounds. But it's a big need for the center spot. However, this does not address an immediate need.
Correct.
Like you mentioned, 6'6", 6'7", 214. So I'm sure they want to get him bulked up to at least 230, 240.
Yeah, he'll fill up. He'll fill up. I mean, ultimately, the game's changing. I think as you've seen in the playoffs. I mean, Florida, it comes to mind. They're big. They're physical.
Right.
Not just in the bottom, three. It's the top six.
Right.
So you gotta get that physicality back up. I think they addressed it a little bit this year, which helped them in the playoffs. But I think they need to bulk up a little bit more. Now, again, he's still a couple of years out, but it'll be interesting to see how he kind of fills up and how he plays at the college level. At that, I mean, he's a big kid. He skates great, and from what I understand, his hockey IQ is off the charts. This program is been known to put out some top quality prospects.
I think you had mentioned that they're like a factory.
Yeah, St. Andrews College. So it'd be interesting to see. I guess the head coach there had nothing but great things to say about him from a character standpoint, which is always big. I mean. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I think it's a good start.
I think it's great that he's going to Hockey East, and he's going to Boston College. Now selfishly, it'd be great if he went to Providence College as a PC fan, but he's going to be playing in Hockey East. BCBU returning to great stature this year, going to the Frozen Four, both teams this year. So it's great to see BC kind of like when I started going to Frozen Fours, it was always BCBU, going there out of Hockey East. Some things have changed. Merrimack, Providence College went in the whole thing. UNH used to make their little runs before falling off in the Final Four, but BCBU back on top. So this will be great. It's because Hockey East is a physical league. It'll be great to see how he handles it, because one of the knocks is, yes, he comes out of a factory of hockey players in this high school, but the competition he's played against has not been Hockey East talent.
Correct.
So
and that's a
go
good segue too. I mean, you got to hats off to Macklin Celebrini, who was taken first overall, right, from BU. I think it was well known that he was going to go first overall. The kid has been a phenom since he was like 10 years old.
Right.
So congratulations to him going out to San Jose.
And for people that may not know, I mean, he just turned 18.
Yeah.
He played at BU this year as a 17-year-old. Most 17-year-olds are finishing up their junior year of high school or senior year of college, getting ready to turn 18 senior in high school, not college. And here's Celebrini as a freshman at BU, producing so well as a 17-year-old to get drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah, and I think he was second or third in scoring in hockey.
Right, exactly. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. I selfishly was hoping he would come back to BU as well as a Hockey East fan. Again, PC fan, but I like watching Hockey East as well. There is a Providence College hockey player still out there for best available. A quick scan this morning, did not get drafted. Expect him to go. PC hockey player Trevor Connolly. He was ranked as high as number 6. He did not go, right? In the draft last night.
I think he did.
Did he go late? Oh, did I miss that?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, so it's if not, because we were watching last night, and halfway through the first round, he was still one of the best available players still out there to be taken. So and one other player that is looking to possibly get drafted from Providence College is Tanner Adams. Ranked second on Providence last year with 21 points. He's a defenseman, 6 goals, 15 assists as a freshman in Hockey East. Just an 18-year-old right-handed shot. He was the 4th youngest player in college hockey this season. And good hockey sense. He's one of those players that got kind of passed over last year, and he's looking to get drafted this year in the NHL. Round 2 continues on today. In the NHL draft.
Yeah.
And do you have an update on Connolly?
Yeah, Trevor Connolly was drafted 19th overall by Vegas last night.
Completely missed it.
Yeah, so in part of the reason why he fell was because of some character issues.
Yeah, he
allegedly.
Right, he had a tweet out when he was 16 years old, I believe, and and my apologies if I'm not 100% correct. He made a swastika out of Legos, took it down, and has gone through like diversity training and all the other trainings. And look, I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm saying what he did was he was 16 years old playing with Legos, and he made a design and took a picture of it. I don't think there was any ill intent on his part, though I don't know him personally.
Yeah, there was an allegation out there from 2021 that he made a racial slur during a game out in California.
But
yeah,
not
like,
substantiated
it was
by
not
anybody on the
substantiated or
ice.
corroborated,
Right.
so it was thrown out. So I think Vegas spoke to the they did exhaustive
powers that be.
interviews they about his character, and they felt
Right.
comfortable taking him. So good luck to Trevor as he
Yeah.
begins his pro career with the Vegas Knights.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, and I'm mad at myself for missing that. Good luck to Tanner Adams today, right winger out of Providence College, is expected to get drafted as well today. We are up against the clock. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Let me promote next week's show. The New England Collegiate Baseball League. We are going to have representatives from the Newport Gulls coming in. They play down at Cardines Field for very cheap money. Like we're talking like $5 a ticket. Historic Cardines Field. Newport Gulls of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. You've heard of the Cape Cod League in baseball. New England Collegiate Baseball League is a tier just under that league. Players playing at Cardines typically do get drafted. Your starting 9 will get drafted. We're going to have representatives from them in next week, and I'd like to thank Michael's Meats of Cumberland, Tabitha Rose Photography, B&M Printing, Trophies and Signs, AJ Moran, and Banditos for helping to sponsor Kevin's sports show. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You going to come back next week?
I'll be here.
All right. We got a thing going now. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week on Kevin's Sports Show from 9 to 10 here on 99.5 FM, 1240 AM, and OneSocketRadio.com. Till next week, thanks for tuning in.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Rob Martier. The U.S. military is once again dismantling a pier built to deliver humanitarian aid into Gaza. On Friday, the Pentagon said they're removing the pier due to poor weather conditions, with no clear timeline on when it will be reattached to the Gaza shoreline. It's the third time the pier has been dismantled since it was installed last month to deliver humanitarian aid to Palestinians caught in the crossfire of the Israel-Hamas war. Americans purchased over 5 million guns in the first 4 months of 2024. Jim Forbes has the latest.
On Friday, the FBI released new data which found about 5.5 million guns were purchased from January through April of this year, slightly lower than the amount purchased in 2023. The numbers align with the decreasing trend of gun purchasing in the U.S.